I know it's probably been a couple weeks since this movie came out, so I thought, why not do a catch-up review and kind of a mukbang in the same video? Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. I am going to be talking about Alita, and I can already tell you this is going to be a rant video. So I thought, and because this movie came out like forever ago, I thought it might be fun to try doing a mukbang video or like something very loosely that. Because if you do not know what a mukbang is, it is where you eat on camera while you're talking to the camera, or people just watch you eat. I don't know. I don't get it, but I love food. And I am really hungry and I'm going to be very busy tonight. I didn't have time to make dinner. So I stopped by Wendy's on my way home from work. I got a Frosty. I got a number 10, which is a 10-piece chicken nugget and medium fry. And let's just talk about Alita while I eat dinner. I don't like people eating on camera. I know, and I'm subjecting you guys to me doing it. But I will try to do it to a minimum or not have a lot of weird mouth noises because that's kind of gross. So, Alita. And I also have to make sure my cat doesn't try to eat my food. That's gonna be fun. Can I help you? Miss. So, Alita. I was very hesitant going into this because let's just say I was not super excited on the way her eyes looked. But I will also say that you get used to the eyes very quickly. The part that I did not like and the part that I did not get used to was how bad a lot of the acting was, especially the girl that played Alita and the boyfriend guy, which, oh my gosh, let's talk about their relationship. Let me dig into some of my food, and I'm going to do something that's fairly controversial to a lot of people, which is I'm going to dip my chicken nuggets and my french fries in my Frosty. Yep, this is really good. And if you hear chewing noises in the background, it's also Luna's dinner time, so she's eating with me. But a lot of their relationship, to me, it felt very dumb, like unnecessary. It didn't really need to be there. It could have been just them as friends and taking out the relationship part, because it gets very weird and awkward at a lot of points. And it would have made the ending still make sense, because a little bit of spoiler alert here, the boyfriend, whatever, he gets turned into a robot or whatever and ended up falling off of the rope thing and dying, I guess. But they set up so much space for a sequel. They obviously want you to want a sequel to this, and I think this did fairly well at the box office, so it'll probably get a sequel. Plus, it's James Cameron. Not that he directed it. Robert Rodriguez. Oh my god, can I not say that? Okay, the guy who directed Machete and Spy Kids, he directed this as well. And it makes sense because this movie is very much like that. It just looks like a James Cameron movie, but it is directed like a Robert Rodriguez. I said it right. One of his films. But back to the acting. Some of the actors I really did love because they are great actors in their own right. Like Jennifer Connelly and Mahershala Ali, and even at some points Christoph Waltz. Sometimes his accent goes in and out, but he's still Christoph Waltz, and he still, I think, did a pretty good job in my eyes. Much better than the main actress and her boyfriend dude. The girl that plays Alita, her acting though, it just felt very stiff and not all there, kind of cringy. There's one scene, since I am doing some spoilers in this, where she gives this alien technology heart that she has in her to the boyfriend so he can sell it for money so they can get to the heaven spaceship thing that's floating up there. I don't remember what any of this stuff is because the writing is kind of bad and all over the place, which I will get to in a second. And she gets like super intense, and she even calls it out, like she gets like super intense about it, and then 5 seconds later, after there's this really weird awkward pause, she goes, well, that was really intense, and it's like bright cheery voice. And I understand that she's kind of an alien slash robot in a human body and kind of getting used to how you interact with humans, but it just felt so weird and awkward to me. It didn't feel right. It just broke my sense of the way a movie should be, even though that doesn't necessarily really break what you think of. Her acting did not work for me at all. So now let's get to the story bits. Well, at first they explain nothing. They take forever, and I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be like they're building up to explain some stuff, but they just explain nothing, and then they just do this big info dump on you, and then they explain nothing and do kind of a big info dump again, but then just don't really explain a lot. And I felt like it went somewhere, but it went nowhere at the same time. I felt like I don't know anything that's happening, and then there's a sequel that I don't know what is going to be going on leading into that sequel, because I don't know what happened in this movie. It just did not work for me. And the movie's like 2 hours and 2 minutes long, and it feels like it's going to end at so many different points, and it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and I didn't know where it was supposed to begin or end. Well, I knew where it began, but I didn't know where it was going to end. And yeah, it lost me about halfway through. I just couldn't find a point in the story that was a good through line, because it jumped all over the place. And there's sometimes like something just random will happen when she's getting ready to go to the murder ball, whatever thing. She suddenly has like a communication device in her ear, and all the guys like that are talking to her are on cell phones. So when did she have that communication device in her ear? They don't explain that. They don't show any of that. Did it come with the suit, even though it's the same, like her from the shoulders up? I don't know. It's just I understand this is off of like a manga or something, which sure, I didn't read it, and there's probably an explanation in that, but I don't think you have to know the source material for a movie to be good or to be understood. It should be its own thing. Like, Ready Player One did this really well. Is Ready Player One the book and Ready Player One the movie are very similar, but they're also very separate. You can get different things from each piece. So I think overall it's definitely not a good movie, at least for me. It was not a good movie. It was boring and long and slow. Although the action fights, the choreography for the action fight, like the action fights, the choreography for the fight scenes, the action sequences are super cool. Especially the bar fight scene, both when she is taking down the like hunter killers, I guess that's what they're called. And then that big robot guy that's sent by Mahershala Ali's character, which, oh my god, that's another thing I forgot about. Mahershala Ali, he had a really cool death scene. Spoiler alert, but you already know I've been talking about spoilers in this. But he keeps switching between his character and then this other guy, which that was really cool. But the only thing is, all of a sudden, at the very end of the movie, they go up to his place in the spaceship in the sky, and you see him watching Alita getting ready to do this championship murder ball thing, and then he takes off his glasses. Like, cool. I thought, I don't know, I was like maybe expecting him not to have eyes or something, because there's this big thing about eyes. At the beginning, Christoph Waltz finds an eye, and one of the robots that does get killed like right away says that she wants Christoph Waltz's character's eyes. But anyways, this ruler guy takes his glasses off, and I think there's gonna be no eyes there, but no, it's Edward Norton. Oh my god, it's a sequel. We're getting a sequel. And yeah, that really bothered me. That was really weird and annoying, and yeah, but I did love all the fight scenes. The fight scenes were choreographed really well, and they were really cool. The effects were pretty cool. They were decent, especially like, I mean, Alita looked very weird and fake a lot of the times, especially when she's in that first like almost pink crystal looking like body, and she does this weird thing with her fingers. It was weird, and I feel like she was very weirdly CGI'd in there. But some of her fighting sequences where she's flipping around and you get it's not as bad, I think. But I don't know. And I did see this in like Dolby 3D, so maybe that was it. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just get to my final score so I can finish eating this and go on to my next review. But My final score is definitely a TV. I would give this an avoid, but I would rewatch it if it was on TV. Just rewatch the fight sequences. I would flip it to the channel when the fight sequences are on and then flip it away. Just change the channel right away. So yeah, that's my score. Let me know what you thought of Alita in the comments down below. I know this is super overdue, and I know I didn't do like much of the mukbang just because I felt weird eating on camera. So if you really want me to do an actual one of those, let me know. Otherwise, I probably will never do this again. This was not as fun as I thought it would be. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate every single one of you. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking all things movies, TV shows, filmmaking, mystery, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye!